into the online broadcast network, AFTERBUZZ TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your number one source for after-show entertainment. AFTERBUZZ TV, the destination for TV superfans. Producing aftershows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows, interviewing celebrities and showrunners, and bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
Hello, AfterBuzzers. Welcome to an all-new Shadowhunters after show here at AfterBuzz TV. I'm your host, Sam Davidson. If you guys haven't done so already, please go on iTunes, YouTube, SoundCloud, rate, review, subscribe. You guys know, we know you're the best fans ever, so please keep all those tweets and comments to us coming. I have an amazing panel with me today. As you all know, Max Moore was not able to be here, and we will miss her terribly, but we have some apparel with us, and you know, it'll be fun to just have the whole gang back together.
Yes.
We miss Aaron, but let us know, guys, where we can find you. Introduce yourselves.
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Becca B Talks TV.
And hello, guys. I'm Dakota T. Jones, and you can follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube at Mr. Dakota T. Jones.
And I'm Sam Davidson. You can find me at SamD43 on Twitter and Instagram, and AfterBuzz TV at AfterBuzz TV on all social media platforms. Today we're going to be talking about Season 1, Episode 10, Blood Calls to Blood.
Yes.
Whoa. What's wrong?
Never mind.
Okay, because for some reason I thought it was episode 11. Yeah.
Oh, 11? Oh my god, you're right.
So.
You guys?
Yeah.
I'm in denial, I think.
I'm in denial too.
You're just like, I don't want this episode to be a thing.
I wrote it as 10. You're so right.
No, I'm in denial too because the season's going by so fast.
It really is. And
It feels like it just started yesterday.
Not only that, but this episode, like, sometimes it's my favorite episode so far, besides last week's episode as well, but, like, the fact that all the things that happened in this episode, I'm just like, can we just go back and pretend it didn't happen?
Yeah.
So many sad things. But, I mean, we got a lot of answers,
Like,
which was good.
Breaking our shipping hearts
Yeah.
here.
Yeah, this is an awkward day for Becca, as you can see her apparel. But
Yeah.
hey, I'm
Teen
not
Place.
giving up.
Yeah.
I'm not giving up hope. I don't know
No,
about
I'm
you
not
guys.
giving up hope.
And I know that some of you have bought some of this awesome apparel,
Yay.
and that's really great. Jordan from SF Apparel, that's ESEF. You do it at ESEF Apparel on Instagram and Twitter, and you can find them on Etsy, and you
So
can
cool.
buy this awesome apparel. All right, let's start with the first scene. You know, Michael Wayland is just coming out of his whatever dungeon, like
Dungeon.
Yeah. It looked
porta
like
potty.
Yeah.
From the first second we saw him there, like we were introduced to him in that whatever place it was, he seemed really sketchy to me. I don't know. I just didn't trust anything.
Yeah.
Nothing.
I mean, after Kat had such a good poker face whenever one of our viewers, her name's Danny, her username is at MalixAngel, she was like, hey, this is my theory. I think that Michael Wayland is actually Valentine shape-shifting, and he's going to throw them off and then shape-shift back. And I was like, that's so good. I'm like, I think that's right. And then we told Kat, and she was like, oh, these people are so creative. Like, man, they just come up with the best stuff. And I'm like, oh. And then you can hear me in the video. I watched it back, and I'm like, oh, yeah, well, it's probably not that, I guess, because she was so good at, like, with her poker face.
Yeah.
But then it ended up being just that.
Well, it was, you know, a variation kind of what we thought, but we'll get into that. Let's talk about when he first comes out and Jace is still in shock of seeing him, but he's very ill from the demon
Stinger.
Yes.
Whatever happened. Yeah. that-
Exactly.
Poor Jace.
I know.
Yeah.
And
The
I
whole episode.
don't think things are looking up for him.
No. I mean, I think his only hope was Clary at
Yeah.
the moment. And, like, he trusted Michael Wayland, he trusted him.
In a way.
I think he completely trusted him.
Yeah, well,
In a
because
way.
he proved to him, like,
Yeah.
oh, it is really you because of a memory that they had together.
That they could share and talk about.
Exactly. So, you know, Clary's there. They're trying to hold him up, but you can tell in Clary's eyes that she's still not really trusting of this person.
Oh, no. I wouldn't either. I'm with Clary on that one.
It's very sad because, like, basically all of Jace's demons, let's say his whole life has been losing his parents, especially his father, and he's talked about it many times. So if this guy just pops up out of nowhere as like Jace is dying and, proves himself to know a memory of when he was young,
then he's connected with someone else, and that's just one more person that he's gonna lose.
Yeah.
Because he's losing everyone right
I mean,
now.
he already thought that he had lost his father, and then now he's back, and then, maybe he'll lose them again. It's just crazy. It's just like Jace has done nothing but had lost his entire life, it feels like. And I feel like, obviously, Izzy and Alec have been there for him, but I just feel like the guy is just having a hard time. Like, he can't ever make it out of this fog. Yeah.
Because Alec's kind of abandoning him right now.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of Alec.
But we love Alec.
Yes, guys,
Just
we
to make it
love
clear,
Alec.
We do love Alec.
Jesus. No, we love you guys, and we love Alec. And Alec is on Izzy's side. They are waiting to hear what's going to happen with her trial. And it's like she wants his help, but she also doesn't want his help because she doesn't really agree with him.
Yeah.
And yeah, there's the whole Lydia thing, and it's kind of weird.
Yeah, it is. And I think that Lydia is a character that everyone has just hated on from the beginning. And it's one of those things where it's like she's just doing what she thinks she has to do. And it's so funny because I've seen so many people online, they're just like, oh, she shouldn't have been in the show at all. And it's like, let's not, like the actress is a great actress. And I feel like a lot of people have been like attacking the actress saying like, I can't believe you're on the show. And it's like, she's just doing her job. Like, she's a great actress.
Strangely enough, I actually really like Lydia.
Well, yeah, at the end of this episode, we're supposed to.
Yeah, right.
Like, I even liked her in previous episodes just because I like complex characters.
She's very complex.
And she's very complex, and you don't know what her motive is. Like, it's not clear.
And I think even still, even though we kind of like her now, because I'll be honest, like she wasn't my favorite character because I'm like, who is this girl coming in trying to ruin, the ship that everyone has been trying to make? And it's just like, I think we're still not very clear of what her intentions are, even though we kind of like her now. She's still mysterious, and we don't really know which side she's 110% on. She's kind of on the fence right now.
Yeah, she's one of the mini mysteries of this show right now, actually.
Well, and something I want to bring up as I was watching this that I thought was kind of messed up was that Izzy and Alec legit think that Jace and Clary are in some alternate universe with the cup and are never coming back.
I know, I'm like...
It's like, come on, trust them.
I just wanted to yell through my TV screen, guys, we still have a few more episodes. You're going to meet up. It's going to be fine. Because...
It's great. Trust them.
Yeah, I think
they didn't even seem that upset.
No, they didn't. They're like, it's okay. They're not coming back. They've got the cup and they're lost in this alternate universe. And I'm just
It's
like...
fine. It's cool.
Oh my gosh.
It's like, no, they're back. They're fine.
Yeah.
One of the relationships I loved that's growing, and I have a new ship. It's called Slook. Slook, yes.
Simon and Luke.
Simon and Luke. I love how Luke is helping Simon through this, and Simon is going every time that he doesn't know what to do, going to the place that like he's not supposed to of the vampire sworn enemies, which is the werewolves, and he just keeps on popping up.
Yeah.
Luke's his buddy.
Yeah, and I loved the scene where he was trying to teach him how to like blend in and be like a normal human again by like eating this steak or whatever it was. And there's just like he pours the blood into the cup and he's like, here you go. And he's like, and that's supposed to make me look normal, like to just drink the blood and not even like eat the...
At this point, I'm totally... It's so weird, but at this point I'm kind of shipping like Luke and Simon. I don't know.
Luke.
I don't know what's happening, but I'm shipping this.
Well, I'm definitely shipping the friendship, I think, it's, we're not turning this into some crazy show.
Yeah.
But I think it's such a cool thing. And I said, and Becca agreed with me from very early on, that the relationship that Clary has with Simon, is just like Luke and Jocelyn. And I think that they are endgame, Luke and Jocelyn.
Yeah.
So
who
I
knows
know.
with Clary and Simon?
yeah, but we'll get into his reaction at the end of the episode.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Because I was a big fan of that. But
I think we have some mixed emotions about that one.
Yeah.
yeah, definitely. So, as Luke is helping Simon, they burst in with Jace, Clary, and Michael Wayland, and Luke's like, what? Dude, you were dead. Because they were circle members together. And that group wasn't huge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which makes me really wonder how Well, I guess we'll get into it later. I don't want to give anything away yet, but we'll talk about that in a little bit.
Yeah.
Sorry. I get ahead of myself, guys.
No, I know. I agree. I think there's a lot of unanswered questions with... It almost seemed as though either Luke knew at the time that was not Michael Wayland, or that there was something more in Michael Wayland than he always thought was off, and he's known something in the back of his head.
Maybe. Because even, like, Michael Wayland was like, oh, yeah, I'm here now. It's fine. Trying to help Jace. And, like, Luke's like, okay, no, seriously. Like, this is a bigger deal than you're making it. Like, you're alive. And I'm just wondering, like, has Michael Wayland and...
so casual.
Yeah, like, if they were all a part of this group, was Michael Wayland or Valentine ever in the same room together, if you know what I mean? Or... Because that's kind of off, you know?
They couldn't have been.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm wondering, like... why more of the people in the show haven't put that together already.
Yeah, exactly. That's a really good point. I don't know.
Maybe Luke had suspicions about that the whole time, and maybe him and Clary kind of connected.
I don't feel like Luke would know, though, just because of the fact that he left Jace alone with Michael Wayland. So I feel like Luke, maybe in the back of his mind, he thinks something's off, but I don't think he would have left Jace with his father without protection if he really thought something was going on.
You're right. That's a good point.
Yeah.
So when they go there, though, it's just funny because they can't go to the Institute, which I don't 100% understand. It's like if they bring him in there and they have the cup and Jace is dying, they're going to help him.
Yeah.
But instead they go to the Chinese restaurant where all the werewolves are, and they...
Love that setting.
Me too. It's
I want to
the
eat
best.
there. Like, I want to eat there so
no,
bad.
I do too. With the first time I saw it, I was like, wait, where is this place?
Except
like,
there would be dog food and dog hair and all your
Yeah,
food.
I'm not saying the food sounds good, but maybe, we'll have some kind of weird cocktail there because Simon said they have a great happy hour. Remember that?
Oh, yeah.
He did say that.
Interesting.
Okay, so after they get there, we know that what Jace needs to heal himself is human blood. And it's against the accords for vampires to do that, to have human blood. But of course they do. So Clary makes Simon, or asks him, she's like, can we go to Raphael? And it's kind of like a weird thing for him, but he so wants Clary to be happy and to help that he kind of puts himself in a not great situation to do that when they go back to the Hotel de Mort.
I can't get over that. I just think it's so crazy how they keep going back to the Hotel de Mort, which is such a freaky place to me. Like, I know that Raphael has kind of been on their side, but at the same time, Raphael is not like the most, 100% on their side. So I'm feeling like if they keep going to him, it's only bound, like, something wrong is going to happen.
Yeah, it's like he said to Clary, he's like, Clary, you have to keep on showing up here like this.
You can't do this. You cannot keep showing up into, like, a big house full of vampires. Like, one of them's going to eat you.
Yeah.
Like, it's going to happen.
Like,
you're going to drink your blood.
Because fairy blood, or, angel blood, angel blood is, like, the best smelling.
I feel like Raphael has good intentions right now, like, as far as him helping Clary out. But
he obviously doesn't agree with Camille's.
I think he wants to protect her from the other vampires who might lose control. And
I think he's kind of like having a hard time with the fact that he doesn't feel like what Camille was doing was right, so he like kind of overthrew her, but then at the same time he still has his hands in some dirty business, when we see, the mirror rise and they've got like not just a few packs of human blood, like they've got probably at least, I want to say 10, 15 bodies of worth of blood in there. Like,
I'm going to be real though, if a vampire didn't have that's like, they would be such kind of like lame vampires.
Yeah. To
not have human blood and just, that they're all so good. It's unrealistic.
True. Very true.
Yeah. Vampires are extremely realistic, so.
Yeah. That's true.
Yeah, very much so.
Well, I would okay, let's talk about this really interesting moment, because when I watched it the second time, I watched it a couple times, I think 3, and it's one
of those shows you have to watch. Yeah.
Especially with this episode, though, because you find things out at the end that then and then when you rewatch it.
Wait, I want to see if I can...
Exactly.
Catch on.
So the moment with Clary and Michael Wayland was very odd, their first moment alone. Like, she comes after they bring the vampire blood back to Jace and they save him. And Jace is still kind of weak. Not the vampire blood, I'm sorry, the human blood from the vampires. And before Clary goes to visit Jace, Michael Wayland says, hey, let me chat with you kind of for a minute. And she knew something was off. And the way,
smart.
Yeah.
she really is smart. And I mean, what did you guys think about that conversation? The way that they were talking, did she secretly think like, oh, I'm talking to my father right now? Because I think there's part of her that thought maybe it was a shape-shifting situation.
I definitely think so. I think she knew from... I think she knew pretty closely to the moment after they first met.
Oh, okay.
Michael Wayland...
See, I feel like she
at the
didn't.
Lair place.
Yeah, I feel like she didn't know until after, obviously, Jace was feeling better and he's like, okay, you can go see him now, but wait, I want to talk to you. I feel like she wouldn't have, like going back to what I said about Luke, I feel like she wouldn't have left him alone with him if she would have thought that it was Valentine. So I do think that she's just now kind of figuring it out whenever she's having this conversation with him. I feel like she knows something's off, but then once they really start talking, you can just see in her face.
Well, Michael said this really interesting line talking about Valentine that I wrote down. And I think Clary maybe kind of asked him about Valentine, and he said, would it help if you knew how much he loved her, Jocelyn, and how much he would have loved you? And then he said, like, maybe this is my destiny to bring, my family and yours together. And those two things, it's like,
It's like,
You're my dad.
yeah.
Well, you're my papa. Yeah.
I mean, I get why she
Way
wouldn't
to
have...
break all trust.
Yeah, I get why she wouldn't have put two and two together, but looking back on it, you'd think she'd run in there and be like, Jace, we have to leave right now.
Seriously.
Yeah.
And the way that she plays it so calm, and, we find out later that she's like, I didn't want to tell you, Jace. Like, I wanted, you wouldn't have believed me. You would have, like, put up a fight. So it is kind of one of those things, though, where it's kind of like Clary was kind of going behind Jace's back in a way and, like, keeping information from him that maybe could have helped them figure out the situation a little bit better than it happened.
But think about how emotional Clary gets with Jocelyn. She literally throws everything she knows away and is willing to sacrifice other people's lives and even her own to get her mother again.
Yeah.
So it's like that kind of irrationality is the same way that Jace feels about his father.
Yeah.
So I think maybe she recognizes that. I don't know.
I think she definitely didn't tell Jace just because it would have intensified the fight at the end of the episode, which we will get into later.
Exactly. And so we had a nice kissing moment, which I think is going to be the last we're going to see for a while with those two. But it was a pretty, intense one. So when she goes in to see him, Jace, they talk, and then they end up just, really, making out.
Yeah.
It was very sexy, but it was also very, kind of angry.
Yeah, it was like an angry makeout session. It was so funny because I was actually here at the studio when I was catching up in between after shows the other day, and I felt so nerdy because I was by myself watching, and everyone was passing by me, and when they were making out so angrily, I was like just smiling and really getting into it, and I'm like,
reactions watching were great because I had already watched at that point, and I was actually here too.
She was kind of kept looking over at me like, this kid.
Yeah, no, I was watching him and it should be its own after show on that.
I've never smiled so much, so passionately at someone making out. I felt creepy.
I was giggling. I was in my bed watching it. I was like, oh my God. But then, okay, so everyone teams up. Not our favorite team because Michael's included, but we have Clary, Jace, and Luke, and Michael. And they figure out where Jocelyn is, kind of at this mental hospital, this old mental hospital for, what was it, smallpox or something?
Something weird like that.
Yeah, the Renwick is what it's called.
That just sounds like a disease.
Yeah. It's over a river, which I'm glad they brought that up again because you can't track anyone over a body of water. Yes, exactly, Becca.
Becca's a singer.
And
I'm not.
a couple of things that they ask Michael during this time, I think Luke and Clary are both and that's when Clary really realizes because he said that he knew her mother was pregnant before he died, which didn't add up.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that's when she really...
Wait, can you say that again? Because that was the part that I didn't catch on as well. You were saying that he was... What did he say?
He said something that he knew that that her mother was pregnant with her before he died.
Before Michael died?
Before Michael died. And when Michael died, that wouldn't have been possible because he died before, I think, it didn't match up.
Okay.
Exactly.
Huh.
And, yeah, so that was a big thing.
Yeah.
But also when things are a long time ago, I can understand why it's it could have been a few weeks or something that were off and maybe people... when someone's like captured
Yeah.
Caption.
in a like porta potty dungeon,
Yeah.
then things maybe may get mixed up in your head. I don't know. But what happens though is that they're all gonna go to the Renwick and fight, but Clary tells Jace that he shouldn't go because he's weak, and he automatically kind of says yes. And then you could tell how pissed Michael is. He's like, oh, what a pussy, looking at his son. Sorry, don't get mad at me, guys, but that's literally what he basically said.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not that exact
Don't get mad
word.
at Sam.
Yeah.
What's everyone saying? What are you guys laughing at?
I'm laughing because they've came up with this thing for me. They call themselves Parabacodas. Like, it's like they chose it on Twitter, and like everyone's saying Parabacodas, and they want you to say it, Becca.
Parabacoda.
No, make one for me and Becca.
Yeah,
too.
we need a name too. Yeah.
Okay, so let's talk about Alec, Izzy, and Magnus. Izzy is going on
Izzy.
trial. Yeah, poor Izzy. And she decides, that she wants Magnus to be her attorney, which is like, he's a lawyer.
Yeah.
It makes sense. He's been around for a pretty long time. But it's just funny that they knew that he did this kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No, he was great in that scene. No, he's great in every scene he's in. I just love Magnus, and we talked about the hand gestures last week with Kat, and yeah, those are always amazing.
And she has Alec go to ask for her because she can't leave. And he's like, okay, fine. Yes.
You're like Team Alec.
Team Alec over here.
Yes.
And, Magnus is pissed. Let's talk about his pissiness. Was it too much or was it justified?
I think it was justified, and we see him with
Justified.
his little pinky. He's like saltily stirring his drink. I was like, that is the
well,
best
he's
thing.
always pissed when Alec is like talking about anything that has to do with Lydia. I feel like
Yeah.
he's jealous. Let's be honest, because he knows that Alec definitely has feelings for him and knows that he's making the wrong decision for him.
Oh my gosh, Tina says #parabuzzers.
Ooh,
I like that.
parabuzzers.
That's kind of like our new Shadow Squad type of thing.
Yeah,
Love it.
parabuzzers. That's a good one, Tina. Thank you. So when Alec goes there, I think it's kind of a funny scene, and I wish Erin was here today because I'm going to sound like a big pervert again.
She always does it in the most like innocent way, but she's so dirty.
I know, and
Yeah.
I'm just like,
I miss Erin.
I know.
You miss you, Erin.
We do miss you, Erin. Okay, so Magnus says that I will do you pro bono, is what he says.
I literally paused and looked that phrase up, because I was like, that just sounds
Like, what?
weird.
No, because it means like free, but
Okay.
he wants to trade. And at first he says the trade, he wants it to be Alec.
Mm-hmm.
And Alec's like, what else?
Yeah.
And then Magnus says that he wants...
Sassy Magnus,
Yeah,
yes.
his bow and quiver, which, okay, I know that, like, that's one of Alec's most important things, but to me, that just sounded very sexual, a bow and quiver. Is anyone getting this?
I didn't think about that.
Yeah.
Now I'm thinking
not
about
going to
it.
say it out loud, but,
Go for it. I'm just kidding.
Nope, can't do it on this one.
You'll have to tell me after.
Becca, come on. You
I'm
guys are
slow.
like 5.
I'm sorry.
Okay, let us know if you guys know. I mean, he's
someone on the chat can tell me if you
Yeah.
understand.
a bow and quiver. That's what he wants. He wants Alec first. He can't get him, so he just wants his bow and quiver instead. You guys do the math.
Okay, I didn't catch up on that, but now
Interesting.
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah, and I don't think, he didn't really want his freaking bow and quiver. No. He just wanted his bow and quiver.
His ow.
It's so funny though, because I was literally like, I'm like, what is Magnus gonna do with his bow and quiver? Like,
Yeah.
yeah, but now it makes sense.
Okay, so to Luke and Clary, they go to the hospital, I guess, first, kind of to do a little scouting. And they see all the demons out there. And Luke talks about Michael's, like, rumored death. And Clary says to Luke, she's like, listen, this doesn't exactly add up. And then she asks how many years ago he died and blah, blah, blah. And this continues to kind of evolve. And it's just, I really hope that Luke doesn't, like, come out with another big secret.
I feel like Luke has a lot of secrets, though.
I feel like they just
He's hiding a lot, but I feel like he's hiding a lot, but I feel like he has good reasons for hiding what he's hiding because he's protecting Clary and he's protecting himself.
Oh my gosh. I can't read that on air, Ruby, but that is probably not what we thought. I'll have to tell you later. Okay.
Sorry.
By the way, Sam, everyone loves your laptop.
I know, everyone's saying
thank
they
you.
love
I will-
Ruby, thanks for the prediction, though.
Yeah, you know what, Ruby? That did not come to my mind, but it was close. I mean, it kind of you're tying things together here.
Close.
And thank you. I love my laptop case too. I will tweet out where I got it on Amazon. It's super cool. Anyways, thank you guys.
Anyways.
I love you, and you're hilarious.
We love you, Ruby.
Yeah.
Oh,
Let's
my
get
goodness.
into the trial that happened.
Oh,
you know?
yeah, Jocelyn will be someone with a lot of secrets.
Oh, exactly.
Whenever
Just like
she
Luke.
wakes up.
Yeah.
She's still...
Jocelyn's got lots of explaining to do.
I know. That's why I really wanted her on here so I could ask her, what's going on in your head right now? You're always asleep. Like,
Yeah.
let me know
What are
what's
you
going
thinking?
on. Yeah, but what
She's
can
like,
you do?
nothing, just taking a nap.
Taking a nap.
Just a long nap.
During this trial, Izzy, and then the, what do they call her? The head of the clave lady.
The head of the clan.
The Inquisitor. I'm sorry, guys. The Inquisitor. She's there. She's not taking any of it.
I loved
yeah.
her. I loved her. She reminded me of
yeah.
she reminded me of kind of
Same
like a
reaction.
Sharon
Same.
Osbourne type of feel.
What, unlike America's Got Talent?
Yeah.
She's like, no, Izzy.
Gives her the big X,
Yeah. They want the cup back. And when Magnus does his trial, he basically says, like, you should be persecuting the cup, not
Yeah.
this innocent
Yes.
woman. And I'm like, okay, it's
Yeah.
a cup, guys.
Put the cup on trial.
Put the cup on trial.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it's
Lawyer Magnus.
it ends up that Lydia comes and speaks and changes her mind.
Yeah, I loved that.
I did, but it's like after calling the cops on someone and then they come and you're like,
Never
oh my
mind.
god, just kidding. And they're like, well, we're here. Actually, we still need to file out a police report and your friend's still going to get in trouble because
Yeah.
you were crazy and called the cops.
Yeah.
She didn't need to do this in the first place. And if she really felt as though, like what she said is that, and even Izzy's monologue was beautiful. And she said that we are half angels, but we're half mundanes, and mundanes have feelings and
Yeah.
love, and they help people, and that's a big part of who we are. Mm-hmm. And I'm guessing that the way they wrote it was that monologue was what was going to really change Lydia's mind, that it clicked somewhere in her. Mm-hmm. But I kind of wish we could have seen that more, that that monologue click, and because. When she came up and then rescinded the charges, I was like, well, why didn't you just do that in the first place?
Right. I know. And I know that she hadn't heard, everything that Izzy had to say before then, but it made me sad. Lydia calls the cops on Izzy and cops. Oh my gosh,
The
guys.
clave,
The
the
clave.
clave.
I'm sorry, guys.
The cops.
I'm speaking in terms I know.
We're speaking in
But-
the human world.
Yeah, Lydia called the
terms.
popo.
Yeah, she called the fuzz, and
The what?
that's what they call it in Missouri. Anyway,
Now that we all know what it's called in Missouri.
they call it, yeah, okay. Anyway, you know what I mean? I just think that she probably didn't have that moment of, I think I need to hear her out until it was already happening, and then it was crazy, and it was like, this is not the time to take your charges back.
Lydia just follows the law. It's been said multiple times that she's just trying to follow the law. And I don't think she really thinks about how that could hurt the people around her if she follows the law completely 150% of the time.
Yeah, I agree, and I think that this is when it finally, I get that the pieces got put together, but I just would have liked a little extra thing, maybe connecting it to somehow her life, that
Yeah.
something changed in her brain, because I don't know exactly what changed or how it did, but they all start cheering when she rescinds the charges, and I love what Magnus did with his briefcase, and all the papers magically start flying,
and there's
everyone's
glitter and
happy.
confetti in there, and I'm like, where did you put that
That's
in
why I want
there?
to be a warlock.
Dude, I'm such a warlock.
Yeah.
I mean, to me, warlock are like men, so I don't know.
Yeah.
Ever seen a female?
Which isn't
Yeah.
You know,
well, yeah.
like
Which is-
anyone who ever asks, because we've been tweeted at so many times saying, what would you rather be? I would be a warlock 110%.
I think we all would be warlocks.
Because I don't want
I
to
don't
drink
know,
blood.
Sam.
I don't want to be, a shadow hunter, because then you just always like,
Kind of just sucks.
yeah, you're always like in battle with demons, and it's like, no thanks.
I can't do the battle thing.
Always having to burn yourself with the
I
runes
did-
and stuff.
Yeah, I'd back away from the battle thing. Like,
What would you do? Would you?
No, yeah, I for sure would be a warlock, or if that didn't work out, maybe a Seelie.
True.
oh yeah, Sealies would be cool.
But they're also, I think we're gonna learn a lot more about the Sealies that we might not like, because I know in
hope
the
so.
books, like Meliorn's character kind of turned shady. So
But I do like the mystical world.
yeah, I do too. It's so beautiful.
I want to live
that was
there.
yeah.
I'll be a warlock and live in the Sealy world.
It was really cool. So that the Inquisitor says, calm down, calm down. We're still pressing charges, and
It's like,
until
aw.
until we get the cup, then we have 24 hours, I think.
Yeah.
And if they don't, then she will be stripped of her ruins and have to leave the institute, which is basically a death sentence on her, because
Yeah.
demons know her. They will figure out where she is, and there's nothing she can do to protect herself. So
So
it's
now we're all having anxiety.
So pretty much it's like the Shadowhunters version of the electric chair.
Hashtag pray for Izzy.
Hashtag pray for Izzy.
well, and it's just sad that they think Jace and Clary have just left them.
Yeah.
That it's like, okay, well, this is over because they've abandoned us.
Jason Clary are on an alternate universe making out while holding the cup. Like,
Yeah, that's
No.
what's happening.
and they just,
No.
the way that they accepted it and they were moving on, they're like, all right, I'm going to die. Clary and Jace are off in another world. Like, it's just like, no, like, you got to trust that they're going to come back. Like,
Yeah.
I think it was weird how they really didn't think they were going to come
It's
back.
like, you're a shadow squad, guys.
yeah, Shadow Squad. Come on, guys.
Seriously.
Well, I don't have. I do have a Shadow Squad shirt somewhere. I'll wear it.
It was very interesting, and I thought the trial was a very fun scene, though.
Loved it.
Oh yeah, no, I
Love
I
the
love
chair.
anything. I love
The
anything with
Inquisitor was sitting
Magnus
in.
in it.
Yeah.
Just all this stuff.
Yeah. Seriously, though, the chair that the Inquisitor was sitting in, I want that chair.
It's like a chair on The Voice or something.
Yeah, seriously. So cool.
So then, okay, Luke and Clary and Michael and Jace all go back to the hospital, Renwick, and there are no demons there at the time. And Michael says something like, "Oh, well, this is very Valentine. He wants to draw you guys in and make you feel vulnerable to think that nothing is there."
Yeah.
Which is, it's one of those things when you watch
What?
it back for the second time.
Yeah, you catch on.
Exactly. And it's a very weird scene. So Clary somehow is in there first by herself, which I'm like, why?
Why?
Why? You're dumb.
And Luke and Jace and Michael are outside. Then some of the whatever you want to call them. There's that one guy who always pops up that kind of looks like a not as hot version of Jace, is what I think. You know what I'm talking about?
I'm trying to think.
The guy that started attacking Luke, and he's always with Valentine.
Oh,
He's
yeah,
like-
yeah. He's like an older, yeah.
Yeah. And so basically Michael says, Jace, we need to go in and get Clary when the demons and, this circle member of sorts comes. And they leave Luke out there. And Luke basically is just like, just leave me. I
Fending
will
for himself.
fight for myself. And they go in to get Clary. They lock themselves in this big room. And when Clary gets into the room, she sees her mom floating there comatose, drops her sword. And I'm just like, girl, come on. Like,
And then it like drops to the
Girl,
floor.
that's
And
a distraction.
I know, I'm like, keep your weapon.
yeah.
And it's like a little lightsaber. It like closes up.
Okay,
It's like-
I was actually like I knew Luke would be okay, I guess, but I was actually like, oh my god, why are you leaving him out there? What are you doing? Why?
Yeah.
And like worrying so much that something would actually happen to him and he wouldn't be okay. But at the same time, I kind of knew he was gonna be okay.
Yeah, he was fine. I mean, we learned that. So when Jace and Michael come in, though, they lock the doors for all the demons, and Clary is trying to use the cup, and she was like, says something, go for our enemy, attack our enemy, and they're still there. So it's like the enemy's in the room, basically, is what I got from that, right?
Yeah.
When the demons wouldn't leave. And then Michael Wayland says, let me give it a try.
Like, okay.
Yeah. And Clary gives him...
I was like,
When she gave it to him, I'm
what
like,
are you doing?
I'm like, come on, Clary.
So do you think...
Because she told them find Valentine, and I was like, okay, he's in the room. It's definitely Michael Wayland.
Yeah.
Well, we know that now because they were still there around.
So when he said, why don't you give me a try, she was like, oh, you're a Valentine, you're a fake, and I'm giving this fake one to you.
Yeah.
I think she had that planned.
Yeah, I
for
think
at least half the episode.
while she was commanding, like, go for our enemy, her other hand was down. I feel like her other hand was like in her bag, touching the real one, because we see the demon like getting more like, okay, we got to get this guy. And then so I think she was like, while she was like holding the fake one, she was touching the real one and like commanding them to like go at him.
Genius, guys.
Yeah. And then once, she was like, fine. When she handed the cup over, and then he was like, why isn't it working? And I was just like, okay, like what's going on? Like, I feel like Valentine, once he finally would have the cup, he would be able to control everything. So that moment I was like, okay, something's not adding up here. And then thank goodness, because for a second there I was like, come on, Clary. I was just starting to think you were like the smartest person ever, and then this happens. But.
And he does, he puts the Sealy... Not
Or
the Sealy,
the
the
stele?
The stele to his arm, the Sealy.
We're just getting all sorts of confused.
He puts
right
Meliorn
now.
on his arm.
Yeah, Meliorn, like... No,
Plot
he puts...
twist.
Yeah, it to his arm. I'm still like, the Steely to his arm. And then it's like, oh, crap, it's Valentine.
Yeah, I'm
Turns
like,
into him.
okay.
And at first, Jace is like, I'm going to kill you. How awful this is for you to do to me. I'm so brokenhearted, basically. And then Valentine opens a new portal. And he's standing in front of it and tells Jace that he's always been Valentine. And...
Feels.
Yeah, which...
And then the clay ship is ruined.
Yeah.
Momentarily.
Momentarily.
Well, because...
Hopefully momentarily.
Because I think that Clary, the whole time, she's like, oh, this is Valentine as, a shapeshifter, but it's not really his father. But then it surprises all of us, for those that may have not read the books or know, but that it's actually Valentine, and Valentine has always been his father. I would love the clarification from some of the fans, about... why Valentine did that in the first place. Like, why would he take on another shape and form?
Yeah.
And be Jace's father?
Like, to begin with? Or, like, now coming back?
No, to begin with. Like,
yeah.
Because that's all that Jace knew as far as his father. So that was his father. But it was just, like, a fake version
of his
You know what? I think maybe this is just, like, a little early
Hashtag
prediction.
hugs for Jace.
What?
Hashtag hugs for Jace.
Aww.
I feel like an early prediction may be that Valentine, while he was off, we see the flashbacks of him always going off and, like, he's getting into a lot of trouble. Maybe during somewhere around that time, he, once he had, like, some downworlder blood in him, like, he would shapeshift, and then he, like, maybe met someone else who was, like, not as he was in love with Jocelyn, but, like, maybe met someone else and then got her pregnant, and, like, the whole time when he was seeing this other person, maybe he was, like, shapeshifting to, like, cover that. So maybe that's how that happened. If that makes sense?
Yeah, no, that does make sense.
My brain
I know.
now.
Sometimes when I explain things, I'm like, did I just say that? Is it okay? Like,
No, that made
Okay,
sense
good.
to me, actually. And, so we figure all this out, and then Luke comes in, and he runs right to Jocelyn. First thing he does, holds her hand. And...
Oh.
What?
Wait. Salty Crocs says Valentine did that because he knew he couldn't fight against them as a team, and he had to infiltrate them to weaken them, and he did by psyching out Jace, who was the strongest of all the Shadowhunters.
yeah.
Like, even when he was a child? But I'm just...
No, like now.
No,
like now.
Now, yeah.
Okay, yeah. That makes sense. So Luke comes in, and they're still fighting with Michael. Well, now it's Valentine.
Yeah.
Sorry, now it's Valentine. And Valentine tells Jace, I'm your father. Yes, I'm also Clary's father. Son, come with me. Yeah, your sister can come too. I don't think he's a big fan of Clary's, quite honestly.
No.
Even though he's supposed to be her father.
Yeah. It's obvious. I mean, he's like, your sister can come too. And it's just kind of like, okay. Like, it's obvious that Jace is the favorite
Dad.
child. Yeah.
No.
Can we talk about the mug?
The best dad.
The world's best dad mug.
Yes.
I died. I was
Oh my
like,
God.
I've got to find one of
Ironic.
those and bring them on the show. That'd be
I'm like,
hilarious.
Clary,
So
you're
ironic.
dope. Good job, Clary.
Yeah.
It was funny, but what ended up happening is that Jace can't kill Valentine when he has the chance. He doesn't go with him. And Clary was about to kill him.
Well, because, I mean, he still is like, okay, this is my father too, maybe?
It was very like a Darth Vader.
Yeah, Luke, I am your father type
But
situation.
would Clary have actually killed Valentine right then and there?
I feel like she might have. I feel like if any, because even Jace says you would have killed him, and he's like, I am weak. Like you would have done it, and it's like, yeah, pretty much. Like Clary was like, she's never known.
I feel like she would have gotten close, but I feel like she would have been hesitant at the end.
I don't know. I feel like she would have done it.
Yeah, she would have just... Because I think also that she thought that Valentine was lying. Like, how can you prove this? You're just messing with our brains.
Yeah.
How are we supposed to trust you that this crazy story is true?
Yeah.
He's just messing with Jace's head.
Well, I want to ask you guys a question, too. I mean, even toward, at the end of the episode, it's like Clary's so happy to get her mother back, and I get that. And she's happy that Luke is alive. But she does not seem that disgusted as Jace does when he looks at her after he finds out that they're half siblings.
No, she doesn't.
She's like, whatever. I mean, that makes me think either that's weird, A, or B, she's like, I don't think this is true, but I need to figure out what the truth is before I kind of like go back in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I think that, Jace is taking this a lot more seriously than Clary. I think Clary is just taking it all in stride, like, it's okay, we can still be together. Because, I mean, we even see, like, the scene where he's, like, kind of crying on his bed, and then she's, like, coming to the door, and then she sees, oh, he's crying, I'm backing out. Like,
Poor Jace.
Clary,
so sad.
Just want to hug him.
Yeah.
Hugs for Jace.
I mean, he's going to really go through a hard time. And we know that. And I think...
He's
Yeah.
been going through a hard time, and it's just going to get even harder before it gets better.
Let's briefly talk about, one of the last things we'll talk about is Alec and Jace. So when Jace gets back to the Institute with the cup, Izzy is freed, blah, blah, blah. Jace says to Alec, listen, we need to talk. Alec says he doesn't want to talk, and Jace is like, you almost killed me. And then Alec's like, well, you almost killed my sister. And
they're both trying to fight for people they love.
But they should all love each other.
Yeah.
Yeah, yes, they should, but yeah, I feel like it's complicated.
Clary is really, like, drove a wedge between, Jace and Alec. I feel like if Clary weren't there, they would have obviously all still been on the same side. So it's crazy to see, like, one person can affect everyone's relationship.
Well, what's interesting at that point is that Alec said to Jace in this scene, this isn't even really about, like, this is about you. You have a problem. You are weak. And he kind of gives Clary the first leeway that he's ever really given her. That, like, actually, Clary's the one that did anything wrong. It's you. Instead of blaming Clary for everything, he actually starts blaming Jace. And it's, I don't know, and
he's blinded by love.
I also would like to make this comparison, too. So there's Jace and Alec parapetite, and Luke and Valentine are parapetite, too. And when Michael Whalen was talking to Jace when he was training with him, he said, Alex, so Clary, the girl, got in between you and the parapetite bond. And that said it made him, but then you think about it, and it's like, well, think about him and Luke's parapetite bond, how messed up that got. And maybe that's why he was so, like, kind of against, on top of the fact that they're siblings, against a woman, coming in and doing that, because maybe he feels like that's what tore him and Luke apart.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I didn't think of that one, but I like that.
Yeah, it's a
lot
lot
of parallels going on in the storyline.
There's a lot of parallels.
But hopefully Alex doesn't turn into...
I know.
What Valentine is.
Well, that's what the Inquisitor is really afraid of, because they feel as though they are seeing history repeat itself.
Yeah.
And in a way, I get from a very, like, political, straightforward point of view.
Yeah.
As to what happened with Valentine, who was, like, a good kid at the beginning. And he just kind of got carried away. I feel like they think that's what Jace is doing. And now it's going to come to be that, oh, actually, he's Valentine's son, and this is making a lot of sense.
So you think that, like, in a new world, like, if it was to start all over and things would go bad, you feel like Jace would be the new Valentine?
Yeah, I think that's what the Inquisitor and the Clave and all of them think is kind of happening.
Really? That's crazy because, like, for me, I feel like, I don't know. I feel like, no, I think you're right because Alec is kind of parallel to Luke in a sense. You know, he's the one always there, like, following the rules, and Jace has bent the rules quite a bit. So I get what you're saying.
But we understand why Jace has bent the rules.
Right. He's not done it out of, like, maliciously or anything like that yet.
Right.
But, like, maybe he's going to have to struggle with himself in season 2, like, am I good or am I bad?
Yeah, and I think that definitely is.
You just, like, awakened something in me, Sam. I hadn't even thought of that. That's crazy.
Okay, so the last scene I want to talk about before we get into predictions is...
Luke and Simon.
Yes.
Oh, my gosh.
Yes.
I feel like there's several mixed emotions about this. Please share in the chat roll. We want to see all these mixed emotions.
What did you
Yeah.
think of it?
Okay, so, you know, Luke and Simon are back at the Chinese restaurant, and they're just, you know, catching up. And Luke is telling Simon everything that happened. Simon's like, all right, that's crazy, bye. And then Luke goes, that's not it. And Simon's like, yeah.
Because he was like, I'm always going to be alone. That's what started it. He's like, I'm always going to be alone. I'm going to leave now.
You know, poor guy.
Poor
And
little Simon.
Luke gives him hope. And I honestly, when I was watching it, when he did the thing with his eyes, like, I got you. I got you. And I always knew that. And he says, you know, it turns out Valentine's is Jace's father, too. And Luke goes, but that's Clary's dad. Yep. Well, that means that they can't. Yep.
They can't.
Then he smiles.
Yeah, and now it's like he is, because, you know, and vampires' emotions are very heightened. So this, you know, he could go from being like, I'm going to be alone for the rest of my life, to being, I have hope. And it happens
He's
so
so
fast.
cute.
It went from,
He's like a little puppy.
I know, it went from like no hope at all to, all right, well, I better start planning a Clary and I's wedding. So
Yeah.
what day is good for Hotel de Mort to rent it out?
Basically.
Yeah, I'm going to go talk to Raphael right now
Yeah.
about, like,
Be
having...
my best man.
Yeah. You know, having this weird joint Shadowhunter / vamp wedding at the Hotel de Mort. Let's do it. Big event.
Big event.
It was a really, really cute scene. I loved it. I really liked this episode,
Yeah.
too.
Yeah, I know. I if Clace can't be together, then Clary and Simon I would approve. But I mean, I still like Clace.
Yeah. Maybe next season we'll have to get like some team like climbing hats.
Maybe we'll have some climbing for some of next season. Hey,
Yeah.
That'd
be great.
Climbing, yeah, that's one. I mean, it kind of sounds like it sounds like I don't know if I like that name. Climbing.
I don't know if I like it either.
Climbing, like.
Can we come up with
Slary?
something better?
Slary.
Slary?
I don't
Sounds
know.
like Slary.
Yeah.
Slay.
Yeah, come up with some ideas, guys.
Yeah.
On that note, let's get into some predictions.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
All right, Becca, take us off.
Uh-oh. Okay. So... Oh, basically, I was talking about predictions earlier. I totally forgot what I was going to say. But...
What are you feeling about the Jason Clary in the next couple weeks? What's going to happen with that?
Well, that ain't going anywhere good in the next couple of weeks. I feel like in the Clay stuff is gonna be just away for a while. We're not gonna see that. Oh, I have a good prediction. Malekith? Maybe.
Everyone
Yeah,
thinks that.
Malekith.
Everyone's saying that right now in the comments as well.
Next week, the episode is Malik.
I have two really good predictions that I actually got from some of our viewers, and
Cheating. No, I'm kidding.
one of them is at AV_Yash, and he said that he thinks pretty much at the wedding in the next episode between Alec and Lydia will get crashed by the Forsaken. I was like, that would be cool. I would love to see that, like right as they're about to like make their vows, and like something like that to happen. That would be really kind of cool.
Ooh, I just got a really bad prediction.
Oh, really?
I could be right.
Ooh, say it.
Okay, so Lydia was not a part of the books to begin with.
Yeah.
So, what if at the wedding she dies?
Oh my gosh.
Sorry.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. That would be so crazy.
I like Lydia.
I know. I do too. But so you know, I love event episodes of any kind, weddings, whatever. This is gonna be a really fun one. I do think that the easy prediction would be that Magnus is gonna I object.
Oh my gosh.
But
yes.
yeah,
that's
Like,
too easy.
Yeah.
So yes, I think that will be attacked by the Forsaken.
Yeah.
And Valent, like it's it's not going to be good. And I think that Jace and Clary, I really want some more like kind of inner dialogue.
Ruby says,
from
"Why
her.
would you say that, Sam?" Same.
Well, I just think that it would be very dramatic and
I can see it happening. They write in a character in the show to kill off. Like, it may happen.
yeah.
I've never even thought of that, but that's a good one. You've really made me think today
Oh,
about a
no,
few
I don't want that
things.
to happen. There's quite a few people in the chat who also are talking about how they want more Hodge in season 2.
Speaking of Hodge, a lot of people, there's a lot of people tweeting that they think that Hodge is the mole, the one who's been, relaying information back to
I could
the
see
Clary.
that.
I could so see that as well.
But I like Hodge, and I do want to see a lot more of Hodge.
Yeah.
And we like John Corns.
Yeah, and I know that we will see a lot of him in the next 2 episodes. Oh my god, I can't believe I wrote episode 10. That's hilarious.
11.
11.
I know, it's 11.
Okay.
It's 11. I know that. I'm just
Okay.
laughing at myself because I don't want this to be
I
over.
know. I wish it was episode 5 right now. Then
Let's
we could still have
pretend
a
we're on
bunch.
episode 5.
Let's
Yeah.
pretend.
And, okay, so I think that, there will be some Malik stuff, but
Right.
if there's not going to be any Clay stuff, then... I want Izzy to have either do something else with Meliorn. But Meliorn might come and be bad, and we find out those things.
Yeah.
So, I'd love to see another sexy scene with her and Meliorn, or her and Simon.
That can
I
happen.
mean-
I feel like at the end of the season, they're going to do a little teaser for that, for Sizzy fans.
Me too. I think that it's a little
Sizzy.
early for Sizzy fans, but I think that Sizzy is a thing.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, yeah. No, I think that they'd be cute. There's so many ships that I
I know.
that I like. I can't make up my mind, guys.
There's
I'm
one more
having a
prediction.
really hard time.
There's one more prediction I have. It's from @Nephilim. Is that how you say it? Nephilim?
Nephilim? What's
Nephilim updates. And it says,
Oh, yeah.
I feel that Jace will say
Ew.
something which will indirectly help Alec to follow his heart. And, maybe we will see something like that in this next episode. Maybe Alec and Jace will have a
Or
heart-to-heart.
maybe Jace will say something, or Claire will say something.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I'd like to see Jace do it
I would like to
because
see Jace to reunite them.
I want to
Oh.
see them get along again.
Well, on the Jace note, to tie this up, I think that he's going to be like, oh my god, Valentine's my father, so I'm evil too. And then he is going to kind of start, maybe acting evil or run
Because
away.
it's in his head.
I would be so upset.
Yeah.
I would just be so upset at that.
I think that maybe is what's going to happen. But before we go, again,
Speaking-
guys, thank you.
Speaking of our ships, let's tell them about our Love Octagon
yes.
giveaway.
Okay, Love Octagon giveaway, guys. So, we're going to get some more stuff with this. Sorry, Mark. We're going to get some more, bedazzle this, but here's what you can do until now into the finale. Go to iTunes, give us a rate and review. 5 stars, please.
Yes.
Yeah.
And send us a screenshot of the review.
On Twitter, or tag us on Instagram if
Yeah.
you don't have a Twitter.
And we'll be looking at it too. And after you do that, then we will raffle it off with all of your names on the finale episode. And yes, we will ship to international, but it might take a month.
Yeah.
But if someone from international wins, then we will ship it to you guys.
Yes.
So-
Write us a nice review, something cool,
Yeah,
Yeah.
write a review too.
what you
Rate
love
us
about the show and our
and
after
write
show.
a
Yes.
write a review.
And guys, don't forget to follow and go to SF Apparel. It's ESEF Apparel. And that you can find that on Instagram, Twitter, and on Etsy. And they have all this awesome gear. Okay, so now we're ready to go. Sorry about that. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We love you all. And where can everyone find you on social media?
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Becca B Talks TV.
You can find me on Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube at Mr. Dakota T. Jones.
And you guys can find me, Sam Davidson, at SamD43, Twitter and Instagram, SamDavidsonEntertainment.com, and Snapchat at Sam Davidson. What's my Snapchat?
Oh,
Sam
man.
Davidson25.
Okay, I was I know this.
Love you guys. Bye.
Bye.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Parabuzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.